All right, everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of the SSD podcast. So I'm excited about today's episode. Let's break it down real quick and tell y'all what we're going to be talking about. So basically, today is a question about, are you about loyalty or about money? Think about that, right? Now, we got all kind of examples of how we could break this down as far as loyalty versus money. We could talk about that in the job industry right now. We could talk about it in professional sports. We can even talk about it with DMX's old song, right? But the example that we're going to use today is professional golf. Yep, professional golf. So check this out right now. The PGA Tour is the oldest and for the longest time been the only professional golf circuit around in the United States. Well, obviously they have world tours, but they've been the only one. But as of 2021 to be specific, there's competition on the horizon. It's called Live Golf. CEO Greg Norman, and their first season has been in 2022. Now, here's something interesting about them. Live Golf basically stands for, the LIV stands for the Roman numeral 54, which is the score that you would get if you birdied all the holes and represents the number of games that you play. Pretty clever. Now, what's crazy about this is because PGA has competition now, not only do they have competition, but they have some of their top players leaving PGA altogether just to go to Live Golf. That is what's huge. Now, what's crazy is another thing that's a problem with that. So that's not the only problem. The other problem is that Live Golf is actually backed by the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund. Now, some people have a problem with that because, as you know, Saudi Arabia was tied to some human rights problems, right? And so basically because of that, some people feel like it's a moral conflict and things of that nature. But apparently 50 golfers and counting don't give a damn. So in addition to the human rights violations, why else is it a problem for the PGA to have this Live tournament backed by the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund? Because they have a way bigger purse. They have way more money that they can spend. And we're talking about billions of dollars. So we're seeing this just in the prizes that golfers could potentially win. But before we get into all that, let's just hear this out real quick. So check this out, y'all. There's a golfer by the name of Dustin Johnson. And the funny thing is, in 2015, Dustin was golfing a good game. He's in the PGA Tour. And during the 2015 to up to, let's say, 2018, PGA was heralded for its playoff setup and how it was able to pay its golfers. And at that time, a lot of people thought PGA was paying golfers very, very well. So let me give you a comparison so you can find out. So going back to the story of Dustin Johnson, in a tournament in 2015, he was competing for first place. And that was when he was down in the 5th or 9th hole, I believe. I can't remember off the top of my head. But basically, he was competing for first place, and one unlucky shot, he hits the golf ball, it bounces off the flag, and it rolls into the water, and he moves from competing to first place to getting 5th place, tied for 5th place. So Dustin finishes the game in 5th place, where he was only awarded $267,000. Now, mind you, if he'd kept up the momentum, and let's say he didn't win and he only got 2nd place, well, he would have been able to take home $850,000. So that means him making a mistake, him not being his best, cost him $600,000. Now, that's just one game. My question to you is, sidebar, my question to you is, where are you not performing your best? How much is it costing you not to be at your best? How much is it costing your family for you not to be at your best? Right? In this scenario, it cost Dustin $600,000. Now, to his benefit or to his defense, after that, he went on an absolute tear. He won tournaments back to back to back. He was ranked top 10 multiple times in the world. He was number one in multiple tournaments, and all the way up to 2018, and then and a couple other times after that. But the main thing is, so what ended up happening is, with his tear of winning, his career earnings in PGA has been approximately let's round up and say $75 million. Okay? $75 million. Now, with that being said, Dustin has signed a contract to leave PGA to join Live Golf. Listen to this, y'all. His contract is $125 million just to join. Okay? On top of that, as of September 22nd, he made an additional $12.5 million just for playing 5 games in the new Live Golf tournament. So just for 5 tournaments or 5 games, whatever you want to call it, he's made $12.5 million already. Okay? So basically, what that means is his career earnings are being disposed of in just a couple of games, right? So that's the comparison of money that the public investment fund has to throw around compared to PGA. And now, listen to this. Only 2 people have been offered more money than Dustin. One of those is Phil Mickelson, arguably one of the best golfers ever, and he was offered $200 million to move and compete in the Live Golf League. Now check this out. Him and Dustin have been competing and been, let's say, very vociferous about what's going on. Been huge spokespersons for it. I'm sure you're wondering, you're like, what about Tiger? And I know you want to know, did Tiger Woods get offered some money? So the current CEO, Greg Norman, he said he wasn't around when they offered this. They offered Tiger the contract before he became the official CEO. But what he said, according to Celebrity Net Worth, that's where I got the article from. So basically what he said is Tiger was offered between $600 and $800 million just to be in the league. So listen to this. That means he would have got a salary, right? Or a guaranteed pay of $600 to $800 million. In addition, he would have been able to compete to still earn some of those earnings that he would have got from the pot from competing as well. Just so y'all understand, Tiger's career earnings is basically almost $1 billion with PGA. He was about to get all that and more just for one signing. But something interesting went on with that. Tiger has been strangely critical of the new golf league and didn't want to be a part of it. And why did he not want to be a part of it? Well, here's one thing that he said. Tiger Woods, and I quote, "What these players are doing for guaranteed money. What is the incentive to practice?" So Tiger Woods wasn't talking about the human rights thing or anything like that. He was more concerned about the competitive nature of the game and going out there and, getting dirty and earning your money. And then on top of that, he also mentioned that a lot of the guys that are jumping ship from PGA to Live Golf are forgetting about the opportunity that even gave him a chance to earn money in the first place. So from Tiger's standpoint, a lot of these golfers should be loyal to PGA for giving them an opportunity to compete competitively or professionally in the first place. Interesting. Now, mind you, again, Tiger would already be a billionaire multiple times over if it wasn't for his divorce. So his perspective is a little different because, see, for those who don't know, with the PGA, it's set up to where they have a tournament. So it's, I believe it's Thursday and Friday, and then you have a cut line. And if you play worse than the cut line, which is above, then you don't even get paid. You're cut. You're cut. You can't even get paid no more. You're out of the competition. So everybody who performed below the cut line, which means your scores were lower, then you're able to move forward, and now you're able to compete for money, right? And so, of course, the pots for the PGA tours are a lot less than that of the Live Golf. Now, in comparison, what we found is Live Golf is doing an 8 tournament, as of June 22 or 22nd, they did a live 8 tournament world tour. The total pool in this world tour was $255 million, y'all. The average pot is $32 million, or the average pool is $32 million per event. Whereas in comparison to the PGA average, $7 million per event. That's a huge difference. And so the other thing that's going on with the Live Golf Tour is they're not having any cut lines. So everybody's going to be able to compete, and they will even compete on team and individual competitions. So this is giving them a chance to earn more money. In fact, there is a clip about a golfer. Check this out. In that clip, you're gonna find a golfer. Now, first off, all the golfers are gonna be able to party like that on a regular basis now. So they're being treated like royalty, like PGA can't compete with how these boys are about to be treated. It's insane. But one of the funny things is they brought this up. So this is celebrity net worth talking, not me, right? They brought up a golfer by the name of Pat Perez. And Pat Perez he was celebrating because he made $900,000 that day. $900,000 that day. All right, so with Pat Perez, according to PGA.com, Pat Perez made about $1.2 million in 2021 and $1 million the year prior in 2020. About those numbers. For the whole year, he made $900,000 just in this tournament. Here's a kicker out of everything. Ready? How did he make $900,000? To make that kind of money, you would think that he'd finish in the top 5. Nope. Top 10. Nope. Top 20. No. There was 48 golfers in competition total. He finished number 34. This is what the PGA tournament has to compete with. All right. So I just think this is pretty funny. And but more importantly, my question to you is, should the golfers be listening to Tiger and be loyal to PGA because PGA gave them an opportunity so they should stay there? Or should some of these golfers get a chance to go to Live Golf and make more money in a shorter amount of time than they ever have in their whole life? Now, why is this significant? What's happening is basically some of these golfers who aren't top tier, that you might know their name as regularly as some of the popular golfers, they're getting a chance to make some serious dough. And so because of that, it's kind of like a rising tide raises all ships. Well, if these other golfers are getting a chance to make some more money, then some could argue that this is a more even playing field, right? So they're equalizing the field for everybody. But on top of that, even though some of these other golfers are getting a chance to make more money, the prizes for the winners are still significantly more. So that begs us another question. Should somebody be loyal to PGA because they got the new opportunity? Or should they go to live golf where they can make more money than they've ever made in their lives? And it ain't just like a couple percentages more, it's significantly more. For example, Pat Perez finishing 34th and making almost 90% of what he made in one tournament all of last year. Right? This is the kind of money difference that we're seeing for these people. The other question is, what do you think about Tiger's comment about work and work ethic? Right? Some people mentioned the human rights problem. Some people said that they're sports washing, kind of watering the competition down. And Tiger's biggest complaint is, or criticism is that it needs to be more competitive. So my question to you is, what do you think? Do you agree with that mindset? Do you think that's something worth thinking about? I just wanted to bring this up because I think it's important for us to understand what competition is able to do. I think that this is a good thing because if nothing else, PGA is about to step their game up and possibly give us something that we ain't never seen before. And then if not, Live Golf's going to do something we ain't never seen before and just change the whole game altogether. Because check this out, another thing that PGA has done to compete is they put restrictions on their golfers. So now they're not allowing people to compete in both leagues at the same time. So you could get rid of that thought process. So PGA is basically putting themselves in a position where it's us or nobody. Are they right or are they wrong about that? Well, anyway, with that being said, the main thing is, what does this have to do with spending the same dollar twice? What does this have to do with learning about how to leverage? Well, here's what you're doing. In this situation, you're learning how to leverage your skills to see if you can get more money, unless you think that's wrong. But then the other thing is I'm really curious to see what competition is going to do with both leagues, to see what that does to the environment, to see how we can use that to carry on, right? So with all that being said, let's just talk about leverage in the sense of, if you're able to make that much more money, what could these golfers possibly do with it? What can they do to put themselves in a better situation? Probably not. I just thought this was interesting and wanted to learn more about it because I'm going to talk to you guys about making money. And there's just new ways to make money now. Let me tell you how ridiculous Live Golf is getting, in a good way. They even offer Charles Barkley money to go golf with them. And so TNT had to up their ante and offer him a bigger contract so he could stay with them. So that's how serious they get him for finding competition. So hey, do you know how to golf? Are you decent? Shoot, you might be able to get you a little contract.